Hi everyone, Kelt here, bringing you my thoughts on the British royal family, and today I'll be talking about the birth certificates of the Sussex children, and mostly Archie, and the latest news around that. This is number 13 in my new series, which looks into the lies surrounding the Sussexes. There has been much talk recently about the truth of the children coming out and the birth certificates being looked into. Well, the start of this could be happening. For those that know, this is just a show, and this is a necessary prelude to the whole truth coming out. It's coming out slowly, and it's drawing the attention of more people. More will be ready for when the shocking truth is laid bare. We know that Harry and Meghan were supposed to be checking out schools in Montecito, and it came hot on the heels of Catherine enrolling Prince George at Eton. It was almost inevitable that Meghan would be putting out stories about she and Harry checking out the top-notch schools for Archie. However, there is a little problem now with Archie attending school in Montecito. Schools are very particular about having authentic details on the children, which is understandable. They need a valid birth certificate to confirm identity and also a medical report, which does make total sense with enrolling your child into an expensive private school. They need to know that the child is who he's supposed to be and that the parents are also, and that he has no concerning medical conditions and that they are aware of, and confirmation of where he lives. I've been sent information that they are having problems because the school has refused to accept Archie's birth certificate. Other schools were reluctant and refused them, but the school that they are trying to get him in now, which is basically the only one left, has drawn attention to the birth certificate of Archie. Apparently, it does not look authentic to them. They do not allow photocopies. Also, there has been the absence of Meghan's name from the certificate. Instead of Meghan Rachel, it has Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. Meghan's name was removed some time back, and it was believed that, because of a surrogate allegedly being used to give birth to Archie, that by putting a title instead of the name, Meghan could get around the fact that she is not the biological mother, because it is illegal to have your name on a birth certificate in the UK if you are not the actual parent. It was also argued back then that whoever the mother is would be his partner in birth, so to speak, so she could come under the title of Duchess of Sussex. I know that's absolutely bizarre thinking, but another sign of Meghan scrambling to make something look right, but instead she makes a complete pig's ear of it. I do have videos of all of this confusion about the birth certificates back in 2019, I think, on this channel. There were also other YouTubers that covered this back then. Archie was born on May the 6th, 2019, and his birth was registered 11 days later before an amendment was made on June the 5th. Prince Harry did not sign it, even though they said he did. It's not showing on it. All we saw was a copy, and the lack of signatures was reminiscent of the birth announcement outside Buckingham Palace on the easel, whereby there were 0 signatures from doctors, which was and is totally unheard of. Some have suggested that by just having the title without Meghan's name, then Harry could divorce and marry the real mother, who could just assume the title and slip her name in there, as if the real mother could just assume the title of the Duchess of Sussex to put everything right. It is absolutely laughable. I will always give others' opinions and thoughts on this, even if I don't agree with them. And that theory I don't agree with, because it doesn't really make much sense to me. It was also said that Meghan believed that she would be legally protected by not using her real name, but just her title, in case the truth came out about the mother of the child. I think that's more likely. Now, this school incident is the start of this coming out. I said it wouldn't be long, and this is the start. The other schools rejected them for the same reasons, and now it seems likely that this school has drawn attention to it, and by bringing it out into the public eye, so that it will be much more likely to be looked into, and the whole release of the information that the press have been holding on to will likely come out now. When this happens, it will be like a flood, because every newspaper will want to be the one to break the news, and it will then flood the headlines. Then the children's titles of Prince and Princess would have to be removed from them, actually, and more importantly, the removal of them from the royal website as being in the line of succession. This is the only reason I'm still looking into this and talking about it, because I actually don't hate Meghan Markle, but I do hate manipulation, lies and gaslighting on such a massive scale. So Archie has two versions of his birth certificate, with one saying Rachel Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and a second one saying Duchess of Sussex. The second one is not a legal document, as her legal names are not shown. Lily appears also to have a birth certificate that's also said to be not legal, and there is no birth recorded for her for that date or name in Santa Barbara. Now, the thing to do with Archie's birth certificate is that when you change a birth certificate, it's okay to change it, but you have to be changing it to what is accurate. It has to be changed. It can be changed if there was previously a mistake with the first one and you're altering it to make it right. You cannot change it and make it something that is not accurate. So by Meghan removing her names, is it saying that she's not the mother? It was perfectly legal and fine for her to have her name in that first birth certificate, but only if she was the mother. So why remove it? Fair enough if you want to add something like HRH or Princess. She didn't add anything. She had her title, HRH, the Duchess of Sussex, but she removed her name. So that says a lot to me. Let me have a look and I'll show you the details on the government website about this. I know all of this has been covered before, and I've also made a video about this, I don't know, several years ago, but I don't know how much information I included. So I'm going through this again now. And the government website talks about the corrections which can be made, and I'll include the photograph here, the screenshot of the website. What corrections can be made? It reads, and I quote, "You can apply for a birth registration correction when the information is wrong. For example, if a mistake was made when recording a parent's occupation, you cannot apply for a correction to show new information if circumstances change after you've registered your child's birth. For example, if you change your name after getting married again. However, you can apply to re-register the birth if the natural parents get married at a later date." So, the questions from the general public were, why was Meghan altering it, or why were the palace altering it to remove her names? They would have known that it was a legal document and could not be changed unless it was changed to what was true. I don't believe that Meghan could have removed her names just to be like Princess Diana because she used HRH. And also, it was said that she did it to be one up on Catherine because she used her name. William and Catherine's names were used before their titles. And then it was said, no, that wasn't the reason, because the palace were the ones that did this, made sure it was done. So I think we can assume that it was done because she's not the legal mother. I think it all points to that, in my opinion, which might be wrong. Another interesting fact about the birth certificate is that it wasn't signed by one of the most senior employees at Westminster Register Office. It was handled, as usual, by whoever was available on duty, which in that case was a deputy registrar called Deksha Nevada. So that's another interesting point. Why didn't Harry sign it? That's another question. So looking back again to 2019, the birth included Meghan already being home from the hospital. His first birth certificate was issued on May the 17th, 2019, with an illegible signature of a deputy. And the word is handwritten, deputy registrar. This was above the text, which certified that the document was a true copy. So, on June the 5th, 2019, the Mirror newspaper said that a revised birth certificate was issued, which changed the mother's name from Rachel Meghan to Duchess of Sussex, which, as we know, is a title, not a name. And there is a difference legally. Also remember that the names of his godparents were sealed, and we didn't actually get to see his face at that time. Here are the various birth certificates of Prince William and then the one of Prince George, to show you what sort of the way they use the titles and their name in comparison to the one that Meghan had done for Archie. It's actually an amendment. So I'll put the old original birth certificate here and then the amendment beside it, which is official. This has reminded me of the time when Archie was supposed to be suing the paparazzi. I don't know if you remember that. And I found that a very strange thing anyway, but it was based on US law. And what it was Meghan chose to sign as a litigation friend. And the times when a parent actually chooses to sign as a litigation friend instead of parent or guardian is when, well, two reasons. When the other parent does not agree, or when they're not actually the legal parent themselves. So we remember at that time Harry was in agreement with everything she was doing. So was it the only alternative? Was she signing litigation friend because she was not the parent or guardian? There are rumours now, and they are just rumours, that a surrogate is being encouraged to come clean, and negotiations are pretty sensitive, understandably. Again, just a rumour, but I believe there is no smoke without fire. And the newspapers are mentioning this now. Within the last 48 hours, the old news about the birth certificates is resurfacing. Headlines being said now that the palace quietly removed Meghan's name from the birth certificate. It's strange now, isn't it, that it's coming out in the news now that the old news of the removal of her name is now surfacing. Why would they be saying that now? I think I know why. I think because we're on the verge of everything being exposed. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Much love. Bye.